I analyzed all apps above $1 million MRR so you don't have to. If you don't know who I am, my name is Alex. I'm the co-founder of Plutus Media. We're an agency that helps apps scale, grow with short-form content, meaning TikToks, IG Reels, all of these short videos you see around. You've probably seen some of ours. We've done over 25 million downloads for apps, and we've seen over 300 campaigns right now. So all that I'm about to share is essentially the patterns that we see across the apps start doing more than $1 million in MRR, and a lot of this is just backed by data that is not ours. So by the end of this video, this will help you get some deeper understanding of what you would need to do to get to that level if you're not there yet. So let's dive in. Number one, these apps are subscription first. So every app above 1 million, even $10 million in MRR runs on subscriptions, not ads, not one-time purchases. Subscription is the main thing. So actually 4% of all apps are subscription, and 45% of all app revenue is from subscription apps. This is based on Apps Flyer in 2026. So you need to ask yourself if the features that you're building are pointing towards a recurring payment. Recurring and retention is the biggest thing. So you might be pouring in and investing a lot in marketing, but if you don't have the backend to keep users for long, you're not going to make much money. So it's going to be like a leaky bucket. You're going to pour a lot of water in, but then you don't have the backend to retain. So if you don't have it, do this. Audit the monetization model. If you're not subscription first, you need to rebuild your paywall strategy before even scaling anything. And this ties into point 4 that I'm going to go into later. Number 2, they charge more than you think. So high-priced apps don't really lose customers. They do attract better ones. So higher-priced apps convert to trials at 2 times the rate, 8.9% versus 4.4% at the normal apps. And the LTV is $62 per user if they're high-priced versus $10 per user if they're low-priced. And this is based on Revenue Cat, also from 2026. So you need to ask yourself if you're pricing low because you're scared of not converting, or because the data just says it converts better. And of course, you'd need to target better users, but I mean, this is just very high upside. So I would say test a higher price point if you don't have it yet, like a $9.99 a month or $14.99 a month, and the data says it will actually convert better. So of course, there will be changes in your marketing, but it's definitely worth it. Number 3, iOS first always. So the same app on iOS generates 5 times more revenue per user than on Android. So the average revenue per user on iOS is $8.39 per user by day 90. In Android, it's $1.54. So this is crazy. If you're spending a lot of time trying to launch on Android as well as iOS, just focus on iOS. That's the main thing. That's the highest leverage thing you can do. And once that's profitable, once that grows, then go Android. Number 4, and this ties into being subscription first, is they have a daily ritual. This is not a feature. This is a daily ritual. So the apps aren't used occasionally. They're built in a way where they're used every single day. Users feel bad if they don't use it. So you build kind of a daily ritual, like Duolingo, for example. They have streaks. They have all these gamified features that make users log in every day and make sure that there's an incentive for that daily ritual to happen. So ask yourself, what happens in your app if a user doesn't open it for 3 days? Do they even notice? Are you notifying them? Do you have something that they need to keep track of? So you should design a reason for people to come back daily, like a streak, a character, a score that decays or that goes up. And if that daily habit isn't built into the product, what's going to happen is churn is going to be high and you're going to struggle with retention. So number 1 pattern that we saw was being subscription first. Now number 4 is having daily ritual. So you tie these together and you see how they work together. It's like, okay, you want to retain users for long. You want to have it subscription first. So you need a daily ritual to keep usage high so people don't cancel. That's it. Number 5 is the game mechanic underneath. So gamifying the app, this again might seem obvious, but like the utility of the app, the thing it solves is actually almost like an excuse, and the game is what keeps people coming back. So gamified apps have 3 to 5 times higher day 30 retention than non-gamified apps. So this is based on different sources like Sensor Tower, Scopely, App Figures, but this is insane. So again, I'm going to repeat, gamified apps have 3 to 5 times higher day 30 retention than non-gamified apps. So again, you tie this to the daily ritual, to the subscription first. You can see that there's always a lot of mechanics built into keeping users for long. So ask yourself, if you removed the core utility of your app, is there still something for people to come back to engage with? Is there something you're building in as like gamified feature? So I would say there's ways to do it, but layering in like a game mechanic, like a streak, XP, a leaderboard, character, things like this really help on this. And the paywall should gate the best version of the game, which is great. So not the utility, the best version of the game. Number 6 is there's a wow moment before the paywall. So they show you some sort of result before asking for money. So by the time the paywall appears, you already want what's behind it, which is great. This stat actually blew my mind. This is 55% of 3-day trial cancellations happen on day 0. before the user even goes to bed. So 84% actually cancel between day 0 and day 1. So you need to ask yourself, does your app deliver a moment that makes the user think, I need this, before they even see a price? This is huge. Your entire first session or onboarding needs to be designed around one wow moment. Like, if users are hitting the paywall before they've experienced any value from your app, you need to flip how that's done. You need to give them some sort of value, some wow moment, then gate the best part and put a paywall. That's it. Number 7. Hard paywall, not freemium. So freemium sounds safe. The data says that it's actually 5 times worse at converting and 8 times worse at revenue per install. So guys, just go hard paywall, subscription first, focus on retention. This is the kind of core theme of the video and what we see across these very high performing apps. So on hard paywall, the day 35 conversions, 10.7%. And for freemium, it's 2.1%. Hard paywall performs 5 times better. Then the revenue per install day 60 is $3.09 for hard paywall versus 38 cents for freemium. 8 times better. So guys, again, ask yourself, are you giving too much away for free? Are you not gating the main value of the app? Are you afraid of putting a hard paywall because you think users won't convert? All these things you need to ask yourself, and then just move to a hard paywall, put a trial and gate, make the core experience paid. This is what the data says, that 17 to 32 day trials convert 70% better than 3-day trials. So give them time and don't give them access to everything. That's it. So hard paywall with a longer trial and gate the best part. Number 8 is have one obsessed group as your target user. These apps that are above $1 million in monthly revenue, what they do is they do one thing for one type of person. End of story. And they have then endless content levels or inventory to keep them, right? So then the mechanics are built around keeping them. For example, niche collector apps have $2 to $3 revenue per install versus 50 cents to $1 for generic apps. So ask yourself, can you describe your target user in one sentence? And would that user describe your app as built exactly for them? This is what you want. This is ideally what you want. And then you go as broad as possible while keeping this statement true. So you target everyone and everyone would feel like the app is specific for them. But obviously you can't do that. So you need to find a niche and then speak to that niche. Niche down until it hurts. And that's essentially it. The apps that are trying to serve everyone are in the 95.4% that never even get $10,000 in MRR. So once again, choose one group, go niche, and all the other things that I said. Go subscription first, have a hard paywall, put a longer trial in place, and gate the core experience. This is the goal. Number 9, they use TikTok as a system. So they don't really run campaigns. They run a TikTok content machine, multiple accounts, consistent volume, students or Gen Z as creators. This is the pattern. You see like Kalai at 3 million a month on iOS. They have 80 TikTok accounts as far as I know. Mostly are students as creators, and then 70% of non-gaming subscription revenue comes from organic installs. And this source from AppKitty and Apps Flyer 2026. And this makes sense. Short form content, if you're targeting consumer, if your product's consumer, is the highest leverage thing you can do. So you need to ask yourself if your app can show a result in under 10 seconds on camera. So that's the big thing that's going to make TikTok work for your app, is you need to make sure that your app actually has things that add to viral videos instead of remove. So your product should have a wow visual moment in under 10 seconds on camera. Start with a few TikTok accounts, with a few TikTok creators, test formats, scale the winners, pay students a base per month with bonuses if their videos do well, and then scale the winners on paid. That's it. TikTok as a system. Number 10, they have AI that retains. AI apps are growing the fastest, as you might imagine, but they're also churning the fastest. The $1 million revenue a month apps figured out that the hype is what acquires people, but the product's what retains. So let's dive into the data. AI apps have 41% more revenue per user, but 36% faster annual churn. So 12-month retention's 21% for AI apps versus 31% non-AI app. And the refund rate is 4.2% for AI versus 3.5% for normal ones. So the thing is, you need to make sure that your AI feature still feels valuable after the 3rd month, because then the novelty kind of wears off, and you need to make sure that that thing is still valuable and that people will still stay. So build a retention loop into your AI feature, something like personalization that improves over time, progress tracking, insights that change weekly. If the AI does the same thing on day 1 and then day 90, they'll churn. So use AI, but build retention systems, retention loops around the features with AI. Number 11, which is one of the most important ones, the distribution is built before the product. So the fastest $1 million plus timelines have one thing in common, which is basically an audience that existed before the app launched. You can see Peter Levels, for example. He built a flight simulator in like 3 hours with AI and got to $1 million in ARR in 17 days. But obviously he has a huge Twitter audience, etc. But the main thing is you can do this without a big following. You can do this with creator marketing, etc. It will help you understand what things will work for that app. It'll help you build around the feature that will be best. And then you just use that distribution system to drive traffic to that. If not, you can also partner with someone that has already built an audience, and you do ideally the opposite of what they do. So they'll give you distribution, you give them, for example, building the app. So that's the main thing, guys. This hopefully helped clarify what these apps have in common that you might not have yet. And this is all data, again, from multiple sources, and all for apps that are above $1 million in MRR, monthly recurring revenue. Hopefully this helped. As far as the TikTok system goes and the short form content that we talked about today on point 9 and on point 11, if you are not doing this and if you're funded enough that you want someone to do it for you, that's exactly what we do at our agency. So go ahead and click the link in the description to either get a content operating system that we use for free or to book a call with our team. Cheers.